How's everyone doing today? My name is Michael Shirok, and you're watching Safe Haven Care and Quality. Today I wanted to actually make a video showing you the difference between a blade and a normal, and also wanted to show you what blade would look like in a clown that's not just a reduced pattern clown, because there is a reduced pattern clown and there's a blade clown. Two different things. But to start off, I really wanted to show you a normal. Yes, they are double het hypo clown, from a blade clown paired to a Mojave hypo pos het monsoon. But if you look, this is basically a typical normal, not with these floating alien head circles, which is actually indicative of het monsoon. But give me 1 second. But this, with the alien heads like that, that's more typical of a royal ball python or a normal. The dorsal, as the splotches or the dashes, not a connected dorsal, but very aligned. With normals as well, I've noticed that these eye stripes right here, or right there, the head blushing, is not that wide. And in blades, they typically end up being wider than a normal. But as you can see, this is basically just a normal, even though it has het hypo and het clown and possible het monsoon. I say possible because there are these floating alien heads that are just circles and a little jazzy pattern. Not too much though, so I really believe this just to be a normal double het hypo clown. But to start off, I wanted to show you a base normal, the only one I have, and to start showing you the difference in that from what a typical blade would be. So I'm going to put her back and pull out the blade female. Now this is a blade double het hypo clown, possible het monsoon. I'm not quite sure on the het monsoon on her because I actually produced two blades. This one's a lot lighter and the other one's a little bit darker and more jazzy, more jumbled up and has a crazier pattern, even though it's a blade and reduced pattern gene that's in it as well. But just from taking the first look at this from the last one, the first thing you're probably going to notice is a lot of banding. The dorsal is not striped like a typical normal or a royal ball python. Real nice light blushings that come up very clean in between these alien heads. Very clean. And like I mentioned before, with the head blushings, hold on 1 second. Wider head blushing stripes than a typical normal. She has a very nice head too. It's so light that it looks sort of red. But I'm going to open her up so you can see the reduction in the alien heads in the pattern. It's quite easy to see in this one because this is a very nice quality, high expression blade. Really like her though. Sorry, it's hard to stay in focus, but I'm doing this by myself, trying to show you the snake and having no one as a cameraman. So I'm going to try to do my best, alright? So please hang in there with me. But just to go down the list, I look for the wider blushed head stripe, head blushings. I look for a very reduced dots or reduced pattern with the alien heads being there or being completely gone. Like on this side, there's like no dots in a lot of these. Another thing I look for is a more nice golden color on the dorsal. The dorsal is normally brighter than the sides and a more golden tone. Oh, and also with blades, a blade will have a little head stamp. This head stamp looks a little too crazy, so it might be a het monsoon influence, but like I said, because of the colors and a few other things, I just don't believe it to be. but you really never know. Was there is this thing called polymorphism, which is just like like you could have one gene in a multiple animals, but it looks completely different in each animal. But just from taking a quick glance at this from the last one, which I'm going to pull out real quick again. Oh. Hope you can tell the difference right away, especially in the dorsal. The banding is very obvious in this one. This is a blade double het hypoclown. Nice little head dot or head marking. And this is the normal. Still has a little dot head marking, but it also could be the het hypo or het clown influence, but I believe those two influences not to be attributing to that head mark. The only thing that makes sense to me to attribute to those marks would be het monsoon, but I'm not quite too sure about that girl. And I'm going to show you another blade. This one I do believe to be het monsoon. She is darker than the last one. If you see that head, the dot, and then the two lines that run down in front of that dot. So, and then over here, you're gonna see, oh, sorry. The alien head's very reduced, barely any dots in them. But what I notice in these is that the bottom of most of the alien heads are actually joined together. Like, that looks pretty crazy to me. A lot of these are jumbled up. That one makes a W, that because it made 3 of the alien heads connected. There's quite a bit of banding, because like I said, this is a blade, but the het monsoon would be trying to jumble it up. It's obviously not a normal, to me at least. And this one has sort of a crazy belly, dark belly pattern, which is also indicative of het monsoon. Freaking awesome. And also with this one you would see some wider head blushing stripes that a typical normal would not have. But as you look at it, you would right away see that it has nice banding instead of a typical royal ball python or a normal ball python's dorsal stripage. Sorry, I know I'm going sort of fast. I don't want to make this video very long. And I'm going to show you a blade in clown version. There are reduced lines of clown that aren't blade, but this is an actual blade, and he is the sire to those babies. As you look at that head, you sort of see a pair of goggles in there, or if you want to say, it looks like a butt with a butt crack. Yeah, but I really think it looks like a pair of snowboard goggles or something. And with blade and clown, you're gonna see a little more color and like more blushing or a lighter color in the dorsal. It's not too easy to see in the lighting I have right now, but if I would open my window or open the shades, it would be pretty darn easy to see. Let me open this guy up. I know he's trying to move all over the place, but very reduced, barely any busyness on the sides. I know I'm going to focus in a second, sorry y'all. But this is just a pretty decent quality, high expressioned blade. I say high expression because I've seen quite a few blades in my day, and this one is one of the nicer ones. He did just have a meal a few days ago, and he still is fat, so his scales are sort of wider apart, showing the white between. But he just wants to go back into his home, so I'm going to let him go. Very reduced. The blade's not going to take everything away, but he's very reduced compared to a normal. And I want to show you one more baby from that clutch. There's only 5 eggs, 4 were good, 1 did not have veins. But this is the one male that came out of it. And I definitely believe this to be a triple het. 100% hypo clown. And I believe this got a dose of the het monsoon from the mother. As you can see, the dorsal is not lines or dashes. This is not a blade. It's not going to be banded. But it's a normal. And the het monsoon influence, if you've watched the Justin Kabelka video showing some of his monsoons and his het monsoon normals, is very indicative to have a lot of these dots that are just sort of being forced out in it. The side pattern is very jumbled up. Sorry, one second, let me put this. He's been a little finicky eater, to be honest, but it looks like people are actually holding hands. Doing like this sort of dance. Holding hands, kicking their legs up, doing a dance. Like in a Congo line. But all this jazziness and funky pattern shows me het monsoon as well, along with these circles that are forced out. And another indicator of het monsoon would be alien heads connecting on the bottom and just connected in general, creating these 3 dots instead of a typical, royal ball python that would have 2. Very jumbled, very jazzy. He also has some belly pattern. Not as dark as the blade that I believe to be het monsoon, but he does have it. Sorry, the lighting is sort of making it hard to see. I call this guy Jazzy Jeff because his pattern's just super jazzy and very different. But yes, with a blade and a normal, if you have a nice quality and a nice example to start with, it will be a lot easier to be able to tell the difference between the two, instead of having a low expression being like, this could be a normal, it could be a blade. With nice examples, you will be creating higher quality animals that will be easier to tell apart. I'm one of those people that quality is very important to me, and I never wanted to have an animal that I could not just look at the animal and like not see the gene that's in them. All the animals I have, I can look at them and I know exactly what they are. But I appreciate you viewing, and I really do hope that me showing you and trying to help point out some of the differences between a normal and a blade is going to help you figure out if you have a blade or a normal, or when you produce your own, that you can tell them apart quite easily. Another thing people also say, blades, they say blades look like yellow bellies. One second. I never found that to be true. And I actually have, oh great, she's go, feels like she's about to go into shed. Of course, her color's not going to be showing all the way. But this is a yellow belly, 100% het pied female. She also has a dot like a blade on her head. Dot. This lighting is ridiculous, I'm sorry. But as you can see, very yellow belly. Like there's no not telling that this is a yellow belly or mistaking it for something else. And what they talk about with yellow belly, that speckling on the belly, that's what they're talking about. It goes all the way up. Sorry, I apologize about the colors of this girl. She's normally quite bright and has some nice oranges and reds in here. But yeah, some people say that blades can be mistaken for yellow bellies, but I've never really saw that to be true. But like I said, y'all, I do appreciate you viewing my video. Have a good day, and if you're not subscribed, please subscribe and give it a thumbs up if you like this content and would like to see more. And give me any idea that you would like of a video that you would want me to make, and drop that down in the comment section below. I appreciate y'all viewing, and have a very good day, y'all, and I hope my information that I gave you actually will help you in the future when you're producing your own. But have a good day, everyone.